I'm ready for episode 2, are you? If you aren't ready, you have about 45 seconds to change your mind. Okay, I take that back. I hope you stick around for a bit. Some of the things we discuss in this episode are UFC and WWE pay-per-views, a couple of recent theatrical film releases, and a bit of Marvel. Now it's time for episode 2. I am Robert, and along with Javier, this is Bits for You. And Javier, what do you want to start off with?
How about you tell us about what happened? Was it Saturday night for UFC?
Yeah, it was Saturday night. It was a UFC pay-per-view. The main event was Holly Holmes against Jermaine Durandame. That was a pretty good fight. It was 5 rounds. It was a championship title. It was a title shot for the featherweight. It's a new weight class, and
In the women's division.
in the women's
right?
division.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very good fight. A lot of back and forth, just by Holly Holmes' background, just her getting in there in the clinch. Also, there was two interesting things to happen. I think the end of round 2, and then the Randame, she's a 10-time world Muay Thai champion. She, at the end, when the bell rang, she went for a shot. And that's illegal. You're not supposed to do that. The bell rings, you're done. So she apologized to the ref. On the 3rd round, the bell rang, and she goes in for another shot. And this shot, like, wobbled Holly Holmes. She was, like, if the round was still going on, she would have probably fallen. And I think the match would have ended. Because it was that bad. But she got saved that the bell rang, and she was able to recover. But then the stupid thing is that the ref goes, "Oh, if you do that again, we're gonna take a point away." He should have taken the point away that second time, not give her another chance. That was two times that she freaking did that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a
That
good
was
thing
crazy.
to do.
Besides that, all the other matches were like they weren't even that interesting. The fight card wasn't the best fight card.
So they heavily relied on the women's division.
Yeah, that was the main one. Oh, I forgot. Anderson da Silva fought Derek Brunson. So Anderson da Silva, he's hailed as one of the greatest. He's 41 years old. It's not a lot of people in their 40s fighting in the UFC. Derek is 33, I think. So he's still young. He's still in his prime. And at the end, it was a 3-round match. The judges declared Anderson da Silva the winner. So he got all emotional, and he started to talk about that he's at a certain age, and I thought he was, the way it sounded, I thought he was going to retire, announce his retirement, but he didn't. He just got emotional, cried, and took his win. And that's all I have.
That's great for him.
Yeah,
Even I know who he is. I don't really follow UFC.
yeah,
Just because back in the day.
yeah. He's been around forever. He's one of the greatest. But that's all I remember for the pay-per-view. How about you? Can you tell us about? Go ahead. You were gonna say?
Yeah, on Sunday was the SmackDown only pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber, and that had I enjoyed it. So, but the first half of the pay-per-view, I enjoyed it, but it didn't feel too special. The first half did have Apollo Creeds and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler, Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. There was a tag team turmoil match with American Alpha, the Usos, Heath Slater and Rhino. Breezango, the Ascension, Vaudevillains. I don't know if you even know any of those teams at this point. You probably only know Rhino.
To be honest with you, I don't even know who the fuck any of those guys are.
Oh, okay. Actually, I did like the tag team match, and Becky Lynch versus Mickie James was also pretty good for the first half. Well, first half also had Nikki Bella versus Natalia, which I didn't care much for. It also had a double count out, so there was no real winner, which is a draw. So that was another letdown. The second half, we had Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. That was actually a pretty good match. Probably almost might be better. I think it is better actually than the women's championship match, which is the one that followed it, which is Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. And Naomi actually beat Alexa Bliss for the title. That's her first championship. So congrats to her. Everybody was very proud for her. She has a great look. New entrance. When she moved to SmackDown, she got basically a big makeover.
Is she a rookie?
She's been around for a while, but she's one of those dancer turned wrestlers. So a lot of times when you have models or dancers that turn wrestler, they're usually not that good. It's pretty rare to find a good one. She's been around enough, I think, that she's gotten better. I've seen her still mess up here and there, but she's still not as good. I would say some of these girls who actually became wrestlers first.
Yeah.
Which WWE is willing to hire now. Back in the day, they would only hire the models and dancers, and that's the era she's basically from. She's not that old, but because they usually hire women young anyway.
Right.
Good match.
What's after that? What's the next?
After that was the main event, which is the chamber match, which had John Cena, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, and The Miz.
The Miz.
Yeah, remember him?
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah. So how was that?
Mm-hmm.
How was that round?
That was the best match of the whole night. I loved it a lot, actually. Just to talk about The Miz briefly, just in case people don't know, he was on MTV's reality show. What was it called? Real World or something?
Oh, you mean Road Rules or Real World?
Yeah, one of those two.
Whatever. Yeah, some shit like that.
And then he went to Tough Enough,
figure it out.
which was a reality show for WWE. Basically a competition to get into the company. He didn't win, but he got contract later on, and so someone from Hollywood, basically, it's a reality show, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Someone from like pure entertainment business was trying to get into wrestling, so no one took him too serious. And he eventually got to main event WrestleMania a few years ago in Atlanta, and he was facing John Cena. And recently, he's had another upsurge. This is his first championship match in a while, actually. He's underrated. He's really good. People love to hate him. Well, I shouldn't say love to hate him. And right now in the wrestling scene, even if you're a bad guy, you get cheered. He's like the only bad guy or heel that gets booed to show you how good it is at his job at being a bad guy or a heel.
Right.
So, anyways, I like him a lot right now, and he's on fire. Dean Ambrose, I don't think you know who he is. He was in this stable called the Shield with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. All those guys have held the title at this point and are all pretty successful. Baron Corbin's pretty new. He's from NXT. He's been having a good past 6 months in SmackDown. They've treated him like a big deal, and he's a big guy that's lean and he's the kind of guy you don't want to run to in a bar because you're afraid he'll just kick your ass. AJ Styles, he's been in many promotions. He's been in TNA, New Japan, World, and won titles at basically everywhere he's been. Phenomenal in the ring, which is kind of his nickname, Phenomenal One. He is, possibly one of the best right now, if not the best. And then you have Bray Wyatt. He's sort of like Undertaker's replacement. Although Undertaker's still around, he just wrestles like once a year. Bray Wyatt is obviously full time.
Right.
And he kind of has his whole gimmick is like he's Like he has like a cult from the swamp kind of look to him. He does have a family, and when they first appeared, they were like over from like the swamps and stuff. He comes off a little creepy. He's been around for a while. He's really good at talking, like like a mythical. I'm gonna whisper craziness into your ear kind of guy.
Sounds kind of sexy.
Yeah, and then you have John Cena, and everybody knows. I think most people know who John Cena is. Do you know John Cena?
I have no idea who that idiot is.
Yeah, he's been on some talk shows, and he's been the guy, the big champion for the past 10 years.
He's the next big wrestler after The Rock.
Yeah, he took that spot, and to be honest, I don't like him that much. I find his character boring. He doesn't do much in the match, like in terms of moves. Right. He only executes the few he knows. He doesn't really go beyond that.
He just recycles the same thing. He's not gonna try anything else at this point.
Oh yeah, he did try something like maybe a year or two ago, a new move, and he just kept on fucking it up every single time. So he eventually stopped using it.
So they probably told him, "Hey, can you stop that shit? You're no good at."
Or maybe he was just starting to get embarrassed. He would do this. It was called springboard stunner. He would just run to ropes, jump off the second rope, and then do a stunner. Looks cool if you can actually execute it, but it's just he just can't do it.
It wasn't for him. So those are the two main matches that you described.
Just now, no, that the chamber match is the
last one.
The main
event.
There's 6 people in it. So let me explain the rules real quick. It's 6 people. 2 people start off. Everybody else is in a pod that's locked up. Every few minutes, I think it's like 3 minutes, they get released from the pod. You do a painter submission.
Like that. That's been around forever, or kind of similar, right? When I used to watch it,
I think it's been around since like 2000. I don't know. I would say like 7 or something.
I remember once watching it when we used to see it together. It was with I think at that point, if I remember, Mankind was in it and Triple H was in it.
No, that's Hell in a Cell.
No, they come up with something in the chamber. They were locked in a what seems like it was like a cage, or like you described, like a pod.
No, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Hell in a Cell. That was actually Mankind's retirement match.
Oh, okay.
Eric Bischoff is the one who introduced the whole thing,
right?
And I don't think you saw him when you stopped watching it.
Okay. And what's up with TNA? Or do you know? Have you followed that lately or no?
Yes, I do actually.
So what's up with that?
Let me get back to TNA. Let me just say who actually won the match, and it was Bray Wyatt, and that's his first WWE championship. Well, he's won the tag team title, but this is his first heavyweight championship.
Like he didn't see that coming.
No one saw it coming. I think most people expected John Cena or AJ Styles to win.
Yeah.
And he won it, and that's great for him. So a lot of people are happy about it. So for TNA, they've been trying to actually go away from that name. They've been trying to call it more Impact Wrestling. They recently got bought by a streaming company called Anthem. Bought it from Dixie Carter, who was ruining the company.
Really?
She got the company. When she bought the company, she introduced Hulk Hogan and stuff.
How long ago did she buy the company? You remember?
Several years ago. I can't remember. I remember
like less than 10 or more than 10.
I think it's less than 10.
Okay.
I would think so. So. Yeah, I remember when she first bought the company.
I remember because you told me that he was on TNA, so I think that was around 2010, 2011 when he showed up.
It could be.
I'm leaning more towards 2010.
Yeah, you could be right. I should have looked it up, but I don't remember.
I remember I was living still in my childhood home, so yeah, that was around 2010.
Well, when she bought the company from Jeff Jarrett, became a majority shareholder for the company. Jeff still had a little bit of power, but anyways, she bought it. She brought in Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and spent a ton of money. They were doing good for like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
One of their biggest mistakes was going to one-on-one with WWE on Monday nights. They tried to recreate the Monday Night Wars, and they failed horribly. nowhere near what they wanted to be at. So they left. They went back to, I think it was Thursday nights, It was just funny when she announced it. She's like, "Oh, we listen to you fans. You want us on Thursday nights, not on Monday nights." But it's like, no, you just get your asses kicked in ratings. Anyways, she kept on doing a lot of mistakes to the point where nobody was really watching anymore. They used to get about 2 million viewers, and now they're lucky to get 200,000.
I remember reading or maybe even hearing from you that a lot of background drama was going on with her and Bischoff and Hulk Hogan.
The drama was more like she didn't know how to be a boss. She didn't tell people what to do or give people the exact power they wanted.
These veterans, they kept telling her how to run it successfully. I mean, they've been in the business all their life, and she was completely ignoring them.
Well, some people she ignored. The biggest thing she was stupid about is she basically hired everybody that was responsible for the downfall of WCW.
Right.
Why would you do that? That's just not the, you don't want to have that formula there. It failed last time.
Right.
Anyways, she eventually was just going bankrupt. She was running the company to the ground. So it eventually got taken over by another company. And the past, say, about a year or less than a year, the Hardys have had a big turnaround. They've switched their gimmicks. Matt Hardy's this crazy guy who thinks he's from like centuries old. His soul was transferred to this new vessel, which is his body.
Really? Those are the storylines they're going with now?
No. His storylines are like very like bad sci-fi movies storyline.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it is, and it's actually
I wouldn't
really
be surprised
funny
if he
and
appears in
cool to
in
watch.
the next Sharknado movie.
Huh?
I said I wouldn't be surprised if he appears in the next Sharknado movie.
Honestly, they should. He's awesome. He would fit there. Like, just to give you an example, recently in the last tapings or the last TV show they had, him and his brother Jeff Hardy touched this drone because this drone, he said, got a new upgrade. It could teleport you.
That's some crazy shit.
So their whole mission right now is to prove to the world that they're the best tag team of all space and time. So they got teleported to Mexico, and they're going to challenge the tag team champions that are in Mexico. So that's what's happening next week on that show. Basically, if you watch TNA right now, it's only for the Hardys. There's nothing else that great. I know there's people who like the other stuff. I actually do like one of the women's champion there, Rosemary. But it's just not very much I like. It's nothing bad. I just feel like it's too much WWE. They have to be much more different, and the Hardys bring something much more different, and that's what I enjoy the most out of TNA. So usually, every week when TNA comes on, I watch the DVR version of it, and I just watch about maybe less than 20 minutes out of 2 hours because all I care is about watching their stuff. Sometimes it's a lot less. What if they're in the show for like 10 or 5 minutes? That's all I watch. I've given other stuff a shot. I just don't like it enough.
You can't wrap your head around watching that shit.
Yes, it's just like I could watch something better somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a lot of wrestling talk. What about we talk about some of the movies that came out over the weekend? You saw John Wick 2?
Yes, I did, and I thought it was a fan-fucking-tastic movie. It was very fun. Not a movie that you need to pay too much attention because it's pretty much action from the beginning to the end. It fits. Keanu Reeves I think he found like I guess you could say a second calling. He's over. I think he's 51 or something like that, 52, and he hadn't been around much. I mean, at least for me, I hadn't seen him in a while since his big era was the Matrix movies, those 3 movies. Then he did some samurai fantasy movie a couple years ago that bombed. I forgot what the name. Oh, the 47 Ronin. So that was a failure. So I'm glad that he has now a character that he can call his own, and it fits his persona. He doesn't have to. Not that he's a terrible actor, but he delivers the lines with the
What you expect?
yeah, with the intensity that you would expect from a person who lost his I think wife to cancer in the first movie. His dog was killed in the first movie. I don't want to say spoil anything for the second movie for those that haven't seen it, but yeah, it's a very great entertaining movie. Definitely a lot bigger than the first one. So if you're a fan of the first one, you're gonna love this one.
So if you haven't seen the first one, can you still watch the second one?
You can still watch it. Yeah, they sort of, you could follow along. I think it takes, from what I can recall, it starts not too long after the first movie ended. Maybe it seemed to me like weeks after the first movie ended, maybe even days. So you don't have to really follow it. I mean, watch the first one. You can pick it up really quick. How about you? Did you see? You saw something this week, right?
Yeah, I saw Lego Batman.
How was it?
So, yeah, but let me put it this way: when I was there for the trailers, they had a trailer for their next Lego movie, which is something related to ninjas, and just based on the trailer, like, oh my god, they're gonna follow like one of their formula and just keep on, releasing these Lego movies. So I'm like, now they found the little franchise they're gonna milk the hell out of. So even just seeing the trailer before the movie, for the ninja one, and I seen the trailers for Lego Batman, I kind of figured it'd be a lot like the first Legos movie.
There's a ninja Lego movie.
Yeah, there was a trailer for it when I saw Lego Batman.
Holy shit!
And I knew about it too, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And being at the theater and watching the trailer, I was paying full attention.
How's that look? At least from the trailer aspect.
Basically, if you like the Lego movie, you're gonna like that one too. It's the same kind of jokes, which will take me to the Lego Batman movie. So you don't actually have to know much about Batman. You don't do his origin.
Try not to spoil too much of it.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not really the kind of movie you care about spoilers too much. But I'll just say this: like, it takes a lot of the same things from the Lego movie. That's the type of jokes, the animation style. I know it's CGI or animated, computer animated.
Yeah.
But it has that style where it kind of fakes the
stop
what's that
motion.
called? The stop motion style. Like I said, the jokes are kind of basically the same. The villain has an army, just like in the first and second movie. It's kind of, the first one also reminds you of it, and they even show you in the end of the first one in the Lego movie. It almost feels like a kid's imagination. That's what's happening. It's full throttle. It doesn't slow down too much. It slows down at one point, but it did it out of comedy reasons. It's very fast driven. It's always it's always accelerating, except for one portion of it. I loved it. My girlfriend went to go watch it with me, and she's not like a huge Batman fan or anything, but she thought it was really funny. Mm-hmm. So even a casual person will love this movie. I think kids will love this movie too. I mean, I'm not kidding.
I was a fan of the Lego movie that came out. I think it was 3 years ago now. I was very impressed by that movie.
No, if you love that movie, you're gonna love this one. They're just basically the same thing, but just focuses on Batman.
Oh, that's good. I heard, I don't know if they're still gonna happen because they say they're gonna do it, but they talked about doing a sequel to the Lego movie.
I think this is their next. Which studio is this? This is Warner Brothers.
Warner
right?
Brothers, yeah.
This is to be honest, it's probably their most successful franchise right now. I don't know their DC franchises, the actual DC franchise, like Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel.
It's successful. It's their most successful animation. I think they tried animation with those Penguin movies. What the fuck were they called? Happy Feet. And I think the first one was successful. The second one was not. So I think they were just looking for something, and they found a formula that works. The Lego formula.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do this formula to death. It's basically full throttle, same type of jokes, and then serious ending. That's just how it's gonna be.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm saying all this, but
Yeah, I have
it
to go
really
check
is.
it out.
It's a lot of fun. I still like it.
So
I just feel like eventually I'm going to, get burnt out on it.
did you go see the 50 Shades Darker sequel?
No. Let me see that.
I have not seen. I'm trying to avoid seeing those films. I have not seen the first one, and I don't have no interest in seeing it. No.
Just to before we go into that one.
What is it?
Actually, I don't think. Well, let me ask. Let me just say this: the Lego Movie worldwide made 469, million. So, it's pretty good.
That is good.
I'm sure Batman will.
The
Well,
Batman movie. I think opening weekend did like 55. It did like 15 mil less than the Lego movie, but it's
53.
Yeah, it's still successful for them.
Yeah, but
I think that there won't be an animated film released in cinemas for at least another month or two. So this will be the only choice for families to go and repeat it.
Yeah.
That'll help them have some long stretch for box office potential.
Or you can take your kids to watch 50 Shades Darker.
Exactly. I'm sure they'll love that.
Did you ever watch the first one?
Oh man, I no way. There's no.
I actually did.
Oh shit! How was it?
It was fine. They make it sound like it's so taboo or something, but it's. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that taboo at all. I mean, he's rich and he wants her. And
so he's like Batman, but like a perverted version of Batman.
Yeah, I guess because he also has gadgets.
Yes. Yeah, but different kind of gadgets.
For different reasons, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if Batman has any reasons to use some of his gadgets for Robin.
Not that we know of. Maybe that's an alternate universe.
There you go. But yeah, it was fine to me. I was okay with it. I didn't think it was horrible. I just thought a lot of hype for something that's to me wasn't too crazy.
Yeah.
The whole thing is he's rich and he's into like S&M kind of thing, and she's okay with it. She's learning it, and slowly. It's not like bad. It's just like, I guess for mainstream it seems tabooish, but to me this is like I've seen porno much more twisted in this.
It's just a fan fiction of Batman, just the S&M version.
Just not with Robin.
Exactly. I saw the Walking Dead last night. It came back from that winter break. I'm pretty much like the show doesn't interest me as much anymore. I'm just counting down for it to end. 7 years is like that's it. I mean, what are they gonna do? Another eight season number 8? That's fine. I know it's announced. They should end it with season 8. They can't stretch this for 9, 10 seasons. It's pointless.
I stopped watching it about
Hey, you told me like
2 or 3 seasons ago.
I think you said season 5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I remember they got to some village that had strict rules.
Strict rules. See, I can't remember right now. I don't know. I just like you can tell there's a lot of fillers. Like they're pushing towards something.
That's why I stopped watching it. They had
just,
way too much
I don't
filler.
Spoil
I felt like
but
it took forever to do anything.
It's the day after it premiered, and I'm sure people probably DVR'd it. So maybe I'll discuss it in the future. But I'm just fed up with the whole fillers and let's do this, and I don't know. I'm just not invested in it anymore. I'm still gonna try. I'm still gonna watch it just to see as much as I can take from it, but not fully 100% like I was before. So that's that. I didn't finish watching the Grand Tour. I tried, but I was just too fucking tired.
Where are you
I'm
at
only one
to?
episode. I'm only one episode. I have one episode left to complete the season.
Wait, did you already finish the season?
No, I didn't. I fell asleep.
No. The show finishes their season.
Oh yeah. They premiered the last episode. I think a couple weeks ago.
What was that 10 episodes?
No, 13. That's all they
13.
did for this season.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll go more into detail once I see it, and then I'll give my review on the season. So we'll do that soon. Is there anything else you have on your side?
To be honest, my viewing has been dominated by wrestling because I watch WWE, I watch TNA, TNA barely. I watch ROH, I watch NXT. Actually, I'm really behind NXT at this point. I starting to watch a new one called Stardom.
You watch all of this on the app, right? The WWE app.
No. WWE has their own things. Raw, SmackDown, NXT is part of it, but it's their own stuff. The other stuff I mentioned, like ROH, TNA, Stardom, they're all their own companies. Stardom is actually a Japanese company. It's women's wrestling only, which is actually pretty good. It's very different from what you see in WWE. It was just refreshing, which is why I watch some of this other stuff, because sometimes you get tired of watching WWE stuff. But at the same time, I've been just watching so much wrestling. I have been watching Planet Earth 2. That's another thing I have been watching, actually. So it's been wrestling in Planet Earth 2.
Planet Earth 2. Yeah, I have to start watching that.
Yeah, I think it's still being released in UK.
Actually, I think I saw a promo for it on TV. I forgot what channel. Maybe it was the BBC's channel.
Yeah, BBC has it, and they're just showing it in UK. I don't know when they're gonna release it over here.
I just mentioned yesterday. I was flipping through, right before The Walking Dead, and they showed a promo for it on TV. So I don't know. Maybe it did premiere here. I'm not sure. I have no idea, or maybe it's coming soon. Who knows? So
So how about video game wise? Don't you have
yeah. So they finally announced the DLC dates for Final Fantasy 15. It's gonna be on February 21st. They're calling it the Booster Pack. It includes the rad-looking Magic Tech exosuit. Square Enix says it will give you an exhilarating experience in battles. And they announced that last week. And then they said that on March 28th, Square Enix is going to release an episode. That's what they call it. The Gladio expansion, which lets the player play as Gladio himself. That's pretty much all the Final Fantasy news right now. Have you even played the game?
No, I'm behind. Is it one of those games that had a season pass or whatever?
Ah, okay. They actually they also announced when they announced the DLC release dates. The Final Fantasy.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Did they have a season pass for this game?
Oh yeah, it's I'll tell you right now. It's the DLC pass is $25.
See, just to talk about season passes, I don't think they're worth it. I know you're saving, but you don't know how long it takes them to release stuff. They don't have any promises.
Exactly.
Plus, I just paid $60 for the game. I want everything.
Yeah, and now you're going to pay another $25 to get the other stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm basically like, yeah, screw that. I think, just an example, Dark Souls 3, I think only one DLC has ever been released so far, and they had a season pass. And I feel bad. And I think they plan to release 2 more, but it's like, they're taking forever.
Yeah.
And this is one reason I don't. There's multiple reasons I wouldn't get a season pass, and one of them is you don't know how long it could take, and second,
Honestly,
I already paid
the
$60 for the game.
way that I play video games is if it's not in the original game, it's very hard for me to get the DLC. People could say, oh, it's amazing. You gotta play it. Oh, it's only $10. It's hard for me to go back into a game months after I've already played it or finished it. It's very difficult. Like
Yeah,
once I'm
for
done
me,
with it, if it's not in the original game, it's very hard for me to go and even take it out and download the DLC. And I
yeah,
know of games that have done free DLCs, and I still don't even go and get it because it's like I'm already done with it. Like if it's not there from the beginning, it's no interest to me.
yeah. I'm behind on games, so when I finish it, I just move on. I don't go back to it and play DLC.
Yeah, it's very. I just don't see the point in it. Some people love it. Some people can't wait. Oh man, I gotta get the DLC, and that's what I've read and hear, but it's just not me, man. There's there's a bunch of other stuff that I have to do to waste time and then go back and fuck that. What I was gonna say is that Square Enix, when they announced those DLCs, they announced the Final Fantasy 12 HD remaster. It's launching only on the PlayStation 4 on July 11th. I remember that on the what is it, PlayStation 2? That was one of the last great games on the PlayStation 2. One of the last great Final Fantasy games, in my opinion. I
haven't played it.
I didn't finish it. I played it maybe halfway. So now this gives me, more of a reason to play it now with the remaster.
Wait, you said 14?
12.
Oh, 12. Oops.
Yeah. 12 for some reason wasn't. I guess it was the end of the PlayStation 2 era, so it wasn't like highly successful, but it was one of the best reviewed ones.
Yeah, actually, I remember that now. I never got the chance to play it because my PS2 broke at that point, and I didn't get a new one. That's is a Final Fantasy I'm missing out on. That's actually a good chance for you to catch up. Well, to buy that, remake and play it.
Yeah, I think they announced it. I think Amazon had it on sale for like $50 or 39, which is not bad for an HD remaster. I wouldn't pay $60 for a game that's practically 12 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only other news that I had from Square Enix. The only other thing I saw is that the developers of Deus Ex are working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game, but there's not much info besides that they're working on it.
Is this Square Enix is the one that's working on a Marvel game, right?
Yes, Square Enix. They're working on they announced it as the Avengers game, I think a couple weeks ago. Now they've announced that they're working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game. I don't know if that's going to be console or mobile. I don't think much has been announced beyond that.
Yeah, all I heard was they announced they had a Marvel game.
But it's coming from the developers of Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, so I'm assuming it's going to be a console game.
Yeah.
Telltale Games Studio is working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game. It's going to come out by the year's end.
After the movie release.
Yeah, I mean, I like Telltale Games, Telltale Studios. I like the Walking Dead series they've done. I have The Wolf Among Us, but that's one of my backlogs. Haven't actually started that. The Batman game they released last year, I heard good things about it, so I want to check that out.
I play the first Walking Dead, and I have the second one, but I haven't played that.
I have the second one as well. That's also something I haven't touched. So I think that's all I had here. What about you?
No, for video games, I don't have much news. I did hear something about Apple. You have more details?
Yeah, for those that are iPhone users, There was rumors of a while ago that Apple was for their next iPhone coming out later this year was going to introduce the wireless charging. For those in the that are Android users, know that wireless charging has been out for a few years, and the wireless charging is what Apple has on their iWatches or Apple Watches. So they're finally integrating that into the actual iPhone, or the rumor is they're going to integrate it to this year's iPhone because Apple officially listed themselves under the Wireless Power Consortium's members list. So that's just a big rumor. You know, Apple likes keeping things hush hush. They don't announce it until I think they do their conference in September. Unless they decide to announce it before, but that's probably when we'll expect any information on that. And Paul, hopefully maybe that'll make you jump on the iPhone bandwagon, Javi.
No plans. Android.
Yeah. You and Android.
I actually did have an iPhone. I had the first gen, and then
And you held on to that thing for a long time. I had the 4 or the 4S, and you still had the first gen.
because I spent a ton of money on that phone.
You milked the crap out of that phone. I think you had that shit for almost 4 years. I was like, come on, can you play this game? You're like, I can't download it. My phone doesn't handle it.
Yeah, dude, I spent like $500 plus on that phone when it first came out.
I was working at it. I was working at AT&T when it came out. I think that phone was like $700 when it came out.
Yeah, I remember being really expensive. I can't remember now, but yeah, you're probably right. And I'm like, yeah, screw that. I'm not gonna trade this in anytime soon. Or you're not trading in, but get a new one.
Yeah.
I'm only on my third smartphone at this point because after the iPhone, I got a Moto X, and then I got a Samsung Edge, Samsung Galaxy 6 Edge Plus.
And it's a good thing you didn't get that Note.
The exploding one.
The exploding phone.
Yeah.
I thought they were done with that, but they actually came out a few weeks ago, and they said that they're not done with the Note series, that they're actually working on the Note 8. But that they're going to actually make sure they test the batteries thoroughly.
I mean, the Notes are kind of popular. I think Samsung's phones overall are pretty dominant.
Yeah, when it comes to Android,
the Android market.
But I wouldn't say they're the best. I've read reviews. I don't own any Android phones, but I've read reviews that the LGs have made some good ones, and that Chinese one, Huawei, however it's pronounced. I heard that's a very good phone, the new model. I think it's the specs are amazing for the price.
Some of the LG phones are fine. Their V20 is cool, but Samsung just has a better lineup. It's like LG's like one good phone, and then the rest are just okay. So that's what I'm saying. Samsung kind of dominates right now. They have all these options and different lines of phones, and from cheap ones to really nice ones,
Yeah.
They really are the ones for Android and Google. They have the Moto lineup, and then the new one, the Pixel, which I hear good things about.
The Google Pixel?
Yeah, I might actually get that next.
The iPhone clone?
We're talking years from now.
That's the iPhone clone, sir.
No, it's completely different. You could take this apart and replace different things, I hear.
Why would I want to do that? That's stupid.
No, the way the market's going, they want you to be stuck with this phone that you can't do anything about. You can't upgrade anything, and like not even the battery. So, when your battery is drained, you're fucked. Like the old Galaxies, you could actually replace the battery. Not with the newest ones. They did it on purpose too.
The current phone you have now, can you replace it?
No. So once the battery's fucked, my phone's fucked. Which is next phone I get, I might just go away from that because I don't really like that model. And the fact that you could maybe replace certain parts of your phone.
That's done on purpose, so you could just replace the whole phone.
No, that's what I'm saying. I hate that idea. Like my computer, I've had this computer probably close to 10 years, probably 8 years in total.
But it's not a Mac.
No, it's
Because
a
if
PC.
it was a Mac, you'll
and
be fucked too. Because Macs you can't take apart.
no, that's the thing with this PC. I've had it for like 8 years, but it still plays the latest games perfectly fine. It's because every year or two, I upgrade a component.
That's
The
it.
last component I upgraded was probably just the monitor, which is not really an
Oh,
upgrade.
I think you told
But
me you upgraded to the RAM like a year ago.
actually, I did. That's right. I did replace or upgraded the RAM a year ago.
You're what, at 12 now or 16? Or
No, I'm at
nine?
12 gigabytes.
12 gigabytes.
of
Yeah,
RAM.
I think you're set. You with 12 gigabytes, you can do VR. You can do anything for at least a couple years.
Yeah, I have a good video card, and that's the things I've really replaced: the video card, the RAM, the monitor. Like I say, it's not much of an upgrade, but for me, visually, but not
Did you see
computer
there was a
spec wise.
laptop? I forgot who. It was a laptop announced at CES last month that it has 3 freaking monitors. They're paper
That's
thin
nice.
monitors, so they fold out. I was like, why the fuck would you need 3 monitors on a laptop?
People love that shit. I like it. I have 2 monitors right now. At work I have 2 monitors. At home I have 2 monitors. I can't think of life without 2 monitors.
But 3? That's insane.
Yeah, I would take 3.
I don't know, man.
It would be pretty cool.
I don't need 3 monitors. Just give me 1 or 2. 2 the max. That's it.
So, do you have any other news or anything else to say?
No. I think that's it for me. You
Me
want
too.
to you wanna take the show out with a song?
No, thanks.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later then. That was recorded on the 13th day of February. If you enjoyed this, please support the podcast by leaving a review and rate us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or any other podcast platforms. Share this with your friends and on social media. You can stalk us on Twitter at Bits4You Podcast. On Facebook, you can find us by searching Bits4You or send an email, bits4youpodcast@gmail.com. I will have these links on the description section of this episode. Thank you so much for listening.